Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Stories. So, we're taking on the Kanalta Timberland at this point. Unfortunately, the very first little bit of footage that I got actually got corrupted somehow. I guess I'm going to start moving stuff over from one system to another pretty fast. But the only thing you really miss out on is when you come straight down to the first catavan stand from the boss fight at the end of the last act. You proceed on down into a clearing. There's another catavan stand and a camp that you can actually set up. And you can set up the camp after fighting a Somnicanth. It's a feral Somnicanth, so it has the trick of don't hit its belly unless you want the backlash attack. Otherwise, it's not really a particularly hard fight. It's weak to fire, so Ratha is good to using it. And otherwise, once that's over with, you'll just proceed to where we are now. And this is where I'm going to start kind of cutting out some of the just general fights that I do to try to get you through the actual walkthrough in somewhat of a quick pace. As per usual, I've cut out all the cinematics, and there's a little notice whenever they're actually getting ready to kick in, so you know it's skipping ahead for that reason. But I'm also going to skip most of the just general fights in this. The one thing I would go ahead and point out is as you're going through the area, when you first get there, you at least want to do enough fights to get your team leveled up to the point where it's not that hard to fight the common creatures. Or else you're going to end up finding yourself having some challenges towards the end of the act. But as long as you're doing at least some fights and not skipping absolutely everything, then you should be good to go. Although, I will say Monster Hunter Stories is one of those games where it's actually very feasible to do a minimalist run where you keep your levels down as low as possible. Not necessarily easy, but it is feasible. I mean, after all, people were beating the Elder Dragon in the trial that was in the level 70s when we were capped at level 10. So, definitely a game where you can actually use the game mechanics to still win some of the harder fights as long as you're not opposed to leaning a little bit on luck. But all that being said, let's go ahead and jump forward to the next actual major point of movement, and I'll pick back up with you when there's some need for commentary. So there was very rapidly a need for commentary. I did forget to mention, when you're in a new area, you want to go into any and all dens that you see. You don't just restrict yourself to the rare ones. That way you can pick up the eggs and start getting the monsters identified that are in each of the little sub-regions in a new area. So just stop by any close by den, grab some eggs, and then go back out. And try to grab ones that you haven't yet identified. That way you can go out, hatch them, and have them identified from that point on. Alright, see you in a minute.